Hi everybody, this is Sarah. I know you've seen me on a lot of the Facebook groups, and I'm the one who does a lot of the glitter paws. Little backstory. I am actually the originator of the glitter paws. I got a Black Panther back last April in 2015, and when it came, it had a severely damaged paw, and I was pretty upset about that. So I was trying to figure out a way to fix it and not have it not be noticeable. I went to Michael's, which is a craft store here locally, and I got some fabric paint hoping that would fix it, but there wasn't any colors that were exactly the same as what I already had. So I figured grab some glitter because glitter covers everything and it's awesome. So that's how glitter paws were born. And just for a little, I'll show you how bad the paws were at the time. This is the paws that I did. And I just did something weird on my phone. Anyway, so that's the paw. That's what it came looking like. And then that was the initial fix with the fabric paint. And then that's after I put the glitter on it. And you couldn't even really tell that it was messed up at all, which is super awesome. And I got slightly obsessed with the glitter. And so I've pretty much done all of my hoods at this point. And everybody's been asking me forever to do a tutorial, and I finally worked up the nerve to do it, so yay. Okay, so you will need a small paintbrush like this. Anything small will work. If you want to get a longer one, if that's what you're more comfortable with, that's fine. I've used a bunch of different shapes. It just has to be pretty small like that for it to work and not make a big mess or get it on the liner. Also, I like to use plastic baggies to put the paint on because the paint won't stick to it like it would to like a paper plate. And you can get as much of it off as possible, and that way you're not wasting any. So I like to use the little plastic baggies to put it on. I already did one of the paws with 2 coats, so that you would, 2 coats of what I'm going to be showing you, so that you would see that later. So I already have some paint on my baggie. I'm already prepared. So, yeah, so here we go. Get it scooched up a little closer there. There we go. Alright, so today I'm using the metallic tulip metallic gold. I'll be using the metallic gold, and I will also be using the gold glitter on top. I'll be doing 2 coats of this, but you'll only see me paint 1 because I've already done 2 on the other paw. So yeah, here we go. So you'll want to take some of your paint and squirt it onto your baggie. You do not want to put it directly on to the paw because that would just be bad and you'd make a big mess and possibly jack it up royally. So please don't do that. It's not a good idea. Okay, so we're going to move that back up. Alright, so you take your brush, you want to get some paint on it. Don't get a ton, just get a little bit. Less is more, because you don't want to make a big giant mess. So, you want to get as close down as possible. You'll get your face all up in this, and you're going to want to get as close as possible so you can see what you're doing. And then you just slowly paint around the paw. This is going to be an exceedingly long video. I'm going to try not to, but it takes a minute because it takes some patience. And make sure you're going all the way to the edges, because if you just follow the guidelines of the paw itself, it's really easy. Like, it'll give you the guidelines, I mean, because they're raised up as it is, so you already have edges to follow. It's just like colored on a coloring book. On the wider parts, you don't have to be as careful because you're not, shouldn't be able to mess it up. I'll say shouldn't because I've heard some people say there's no way I could do this. I would jack it up. So if you feel more comfortable just taking it slow on the whole thing, do what you gotta do. Do it at your own pace. I've done probably about 30 or 40 hoods at this point. So between ones that I have done for myself and I've done a couple for other people and sold some. So I've done quite a few, so at this point, I'm comfortable, going a little faster in some areas. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm trying to show you, but I also gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm gonna go around the symbol. I know a lot of people are probably super nervous. I know I was super nervous the first time I went around the symbol myself. You just want to be just really careful. Also, usually with metallic paint, it will kind of show the paw color a little bit with just one coat, which with the gold isn't that big of a deal. If you want more of like a darker bronze color, that's fine. But if you want to have more of a brighter gold, you will definitely want to do 2 or more, depending on if you like it at 2 coats or not. Also, if you accidentally get some on the liner, you can use a toothpick to try to like pick it off. A lot of times that'll work. Actually, I did a little bit of that myself, actually, right here. Just a little bit right there. And it comes right off. Now, the metallic is a little harder to get off of the liner because it is a solid color. Glitter is super easy to get off if you do happen to get some on the liner, because the paint itself is clear, and the only thing that shows through is the glitter, so you can just use like your fingernail to like pick it off, and it's like, and then you won't even notice it was even there. Like the metallics and solid colors will be a little harder just because they are a solid color, but you know, as I showed you, just using a toothpick, it should, if you get it right as you did it, it should come right off. Excuse me. Sorry for the silence, I'm focusing. Excuse me. Kind of tip this so you guys can maybe see it a little better. It's hard to hold it at an angle that you guys can see really good, and then I can still see it too. Why do things have to be so logical? It's not fair. Or maybe I just need to grow a third hand so that I can like hold the camera and then like be able to still paint it. Like that would work. Can we do that? That needs to happen. That'll make my life a little easier right now. No. I have seen people use a few, well not really a few, but a couple different methods of glittering paws. I personally prefer to use the fabric paint because it comes out looking a lot cleaner and more professional looking, like more, like kind of like it was made that way. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist with stuff like this, so I prefer to do the way that looks the cleanest. Okay, and that part of the paw pad is finished. Here you go. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other paw, which already has 2 coats of the glitter, or not the glitter, I'm sorry, of the metallic paint. As you can see, I already did 2 coats of the gold metallic on there. And I will now be adding the glitter, the gold glitter. Normally I would wash my brush out when I switch paints, but I don't really feel like taking the time to go to the sink right now. And 2, it's gold on gold, and I already have, you know, the gold metallic on this, so it's not, you know, that big of a deal on this particular paw. Okay, so I'll put the gold glitter on my bag. And here we go with the glitter. Same thing, just paint around like you did before. Sometimes I'll use 2 coats with this, sometimes I won't, just depends on how much glitter I want on it. You can do 2 if you feel the need. You don't have to. When I do just glitter and don't use a solid color or a metallic color first, always do at least 2 coats, otherwise it will not be enough. It won't look right. A lot of times I like to mix colors. I'll do, say, like on my Galaxy hoods, I've done 2 coats of like black glitter, and then I'll do like an iridescent glitter on top of that, and it kind of gives it a 3-dimensional deal. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty awesome. So, all galactic-y and stuff. I don't know how well you can see this. I can see it in person. That's great. I don't know how well you can tell the glitter from the metallic on the camera though. So here's hoping that. Here's hoping you can see it good. Sorry for my lack of face, but you can't see my face and the paw at the same time, so it's just the way it is right now. And I am just babbling about nothing. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell the sparkle on that. Just checked it to see. Looking pretty awesome. Now, when you use just the glitter on the paws, it will have kind of a whitish, milky kind of color. Don't worry about that. It dries clear. It's just what the clear looks like when it's wet. As soon as it starts to dry, it won't have that look anymore. And you'll get either whatever color you have behind it, or, you know, just the color of the paw, if you're wanting to keep part of that color in there too. Some of the glitters are thicker than others. They have more glitter in them. Some not as much. The gold glitter actually isn't as dense as some of the other ones are. So whenever I do gold paws, I always use a metallic because it doesn't come out as good without it. It looks funny. It doesn't look right. At least it doesn't look how I want it to look. So the silver is very, very dense. The silver you can do without anything underneath, no problem. 2 or 3 coats and you're set. It's good to go. The black is the same way. Iridescent, if you don't want a bunch of color and you just want a little pop of sparkle, that's good too. That's in one that's also not very dense. Trying to think what other ones I've used. Purple isn't very dense. I've used that. And I believe blue is the same way. So the majorly dense ones I've found so far are the black and the silver. Those ones you don't actually have to have a color underneath of them first. Alright, we'll go ahead and just do the paw pads because I feel like it, so yeah. Since I didn't do those on the other one. Just so people can you guys can get a feel for what this looks like, I guess. I don't know. I always have a little bit of a sigh of relief whenever I get to the paw pads a little bit because they're so much easier to do. I always do the symbol first because it's harder, that way I just get it over with. I will say the hardest symbol I've ever done is the My Little Pony symbol. That sucked. That was so hard. Those little tiny hooves, that was ridiculous. I don't know if I'd ever do that again. That was stupid. The black milk ones are really hard too. I always use, whenever I do black milk paws, I always get an even smaller brush because when you're painting the in-between, the little teeny tiny spaces between the darn letters, it is tedious, let me tell you. It's a little crazy. I have done, 5 black milk heads at this point. Because I have 1 Galaxy Wolf I've done, 3 Galaxy Foxes, and my Aurora Kitty. I've done all of those. Is that? No. Yeah, that's 5. Okay, I can't count. I need a nap or something, I don't know. Hopefully I didn't just block that out of the thing completely. My bad. I was trying to look at it too hard. Focusing too hard on what I'm doing. Not paying attention to where the camera's at. My bad. I'm sure it looks like I'm not doing anything because you probably can't tell the difference. But I swear I am. I wanted to do a paw, like another hood with has that I did just glitter on, but I have so many. I have like a handful here that I just got recently. Or ones that I just haven't got around to that I haven't decided what I want to do on them yet, so I didn't want to like do those until I knew for sure what I was doing. Because I will tell you, once it's on there, honey, it ain't coming off. So you better have decided what you want to do the first time, because there ain't no take-backs on this thing. Trust me. I thought something was going to work, and then it didn't work exactly how I wanted it to, and then I had to figure out how the heck to fix that. Trust me. Done that before. Ended up being able to work out. It was good, so. You always, when you're done, you always want to kind of look at it and see if it needs a touch-up. Some places will look a little more glittery than others, or like when you're doing the metallic, sometimes it looks like you covered it a little bit more than another place, so you always want to kind of look back at it and do little touch-ups till it looks like everything's fairly even. I also like to do this at either my kitchen table, or I will sit out a couple of TV trays or something. But you want to have a flat surface for the hoods, because you don't want to get the paint on in like the fur, because that would be terrible. I sit my hoods out like kind of flat like that. I don't know how you can see that. And usually when I'm done with one paw, I kind of lay it out flat on top, so that, like paw up, and then I go to the next one, and I usually switch back and forth between coats so that the other one has a chance to kind of dry a little bit. But that is, yeah, that's all done. See all that glitter? Look at that, all that awesome glitters and whatnot. Yes. So, sorry for the super boring times and the quiet and yeah. And my awkwardness, because that's a thing. Yeah, so, yeah, so there's the tutorial that I've been promising everybody for, like, ever that I would do. And, yeah, I hope it helps you guys. So, thanks for being patient and dealing with my weirdness. So, see you guys later.